Let's wait for the fire department to get out of the way. Okay.
I've got enough stress on my own.
Your heart rate change.
This is Quality Over Quantity. I am host Samuel Monte Young-Bey, and this is a series entitled Treaties with the United States and Morocco and/or Moors. The treaty that we will be going over is not necessarily a treaty from documents of American history. This is the letter from George Washington to Muhammed Ibn Abdullah-Sultan of Morocco, and this was in the city of New York, December 1st, 1789. Now this letter from George Washington to the Sultan of Morocco already in the title expresses the fact that the United States was familiar with Morocco and their imperial power. But this letter will also reveal more things, so let's get into it. The letter from George Washington to Muhammad Ibn Abdullah, Sultan of Morocco, City of New York, December 1st, 1789. Great and magnanimous friend. Since the date of the letter which the late Congress by the President addressed to your Imperial Majesty, the United States of America have thought proper to change their government. The United States of America have thought proper to change their government and institute a new one. The United States of America have thought proper to change their government and institute a new one. Agreeable to the Constitution. Agreeable to the Constitution. Agreeable to the Constitution. Of which I have the honor herewith to enclose a copy. The time necessarily employed in the arduous task and the disarrangements associated by so great though peaceable a revolution will apologize and account for your Majesty's not having received those regularly advised marks of attention from the United States which the friendship and magnanimity of your conduct toward them afforded reason to expect. The United States having unanimously appointed me to supreme executive authority in this nation. Your Majesty's letter of August 17, 1788, which by reason of the dissolution of the late government, remained unanswered, has been delivered to me. I have also received the letters from which your Imperial Majesty has been so kind as to write in favor of the United States. I have also received the letters which your Imperial Majesty has been so kind as to write in favor of the United States. I have also received the letters which your Imperial Majesty has been so kind as to write in favor of the United States to the Bashaws of Tunis and Tripoli. I present to you the sincere acknowledgments and thanks of the United States for this important mark of your friendship for them. We regularly regret the hostile disposition of those regencies towards this nation who have never injured them is not to be removed on terms of our power to comply with. We greatly regret the hostile disposition of those regencies towards this nation who have never injured them is not to be removed on terms of our power to comply with. Within our territories there are no mines, whether of gold or silver, and this young nation, just recovering from the waste and dissolution of a long war, have not as yet had time to acquire riches by agriculture and commerce. But our soil is bountiful and our people industrious, and we have reason to flatter ourselves that we shall gradually become useful to our friends. Shall gradually become useful to our friends. Shall gradually become useful to our friends. The encouragement which your majesty has been pleased generously to give to our commerce with your dominions. The encouragement with which your majesty has been pleased generously to give to our commerce with your dominions. The encouragement which your majesty has been pleased generously to give to our commerce with your dominions. The punctuality with which you have caused the treaty for us to be observed, and the just and generous measures taken in the case of Captain Proctor, make a deep impression on the United States and confirm their respect for and attachment to your Imperial Majesty. Make a deep impression on the United States and confirm their respect for and attachment to your Imperial Majesty. Make a deep impression on the United States and confirm their respect for and attachment to your Imperial Majesty. It gives me great pleasure to have the opportunity of assuring your Majesty that while I remain at the head of this nation, I shall not cease to promote every measure that may conduce to the friendship and harmony which so happily subsists between your empire and them, and shall esteem myself happy in every occasion of convincing your majesty of the high sense which in common with the whole nation I entertain magnanimity, wisdom, and benevolence of your majesty. May the Almighty bless your Imperial Majesty, our great and magnanimous friend, with his constant guidance and protection. George Washington. So, as we can hear and read, the United States was very much entangled and dependent on Morocco. The United States was experiencing wars, long wars that depleted its financial presence, security, ability, means. But it thought itself potentially useful to the Moroccan Empire via farming, agriculture, farming, and commerce, the selling of wares and products produced, textiles, furniture, things of the sort, whatever, new industrious. They were an industrious people.
Hey, yo, you know how you be trapped in your motherfucking skull, bro? Deep in your thoughts, and then that nigga in the inside start spitting some shit back? This how my conversation sound like. My last night in Havana, better not miss the flight. Never wanna be stuck in some shit again like this, alright?
The desire for industry was great. And the desire for industry is literally the desire for profit off the backs of others, or off of the labor of others. But this document also exposes that this new government, United States, because the original was dissolved during the wars, and a new regime and a new order was established agreeable to the Constitution. But this new United States was maneuvering its commerce via the security of the Moroccan Empire, the nobles, the Moors. The Moors secured the existence and the growth of the United States. The potential of the United States was established by the Moors, at the hand of the Moors. And it still has, and it still is. We are the most active, the most decorated in the military of all branches of the armed forces. And even in police forces, we receive great, I shouldn't call it police or forces, but policy enforcing regiments and units, militia groups. We excel also with an air of honor and respect, but despite the odds. But there is a new government, there is a new president. In fact, the former government was dissolved. This letter exposes that the United States corporation was dissolved at one time, and I call it a corporation because I have documentation to prove it, but that'll be another video. But the corporation dissolved and a new corporation was established. These things took place around 1788, and so a little over a year later there was a new government and establishment, and a letter being written to the Emperor of Morocco, the Sultan, and his imperial great magnanimous friendship. So Morocco assisted the United States in becoming the United States. These things were acknowledged by what's her name, Hillary Clinton. She had a speech. There's videos up about it. Hillary Clinton in the Benjamin Franklin room, and she's speaking about Morocco and the Moors and their connection with the United States and how they were the first ones to recognize the United States. Obama in his speech said that the Moroccan government was the first, or the Moroccan nation was the first nation to recognize his nation, which is the, it's not an actual nation, it is the corporation, the United States of America. So, this document reveals a lot of things, and we need to dig into it. I would stress looking it up on Google and digging into it deeply, understanding at that time, this was in 1789, if you can find a dictionary remotely close to 1789, some older editions, we're talking about Noah Webster's 1828, it's a good etymology dictionary, the American Heritage Dictionary, I believe I think I have volume 2, I believe, or the second edition or the third edition, one of the two. What's another good one? I can't think of it right now off the top of the cuff. Even Black's Law Dictionary. Black's Law Dictionary is a very good dictionary. You want to go back to like the 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 1st editions of the Black's Law Dictionary. You want to go back and get as close to what those words meant in law also at that time, because you just need to. Etymology is a good thing. It is the origin of a word, its meaning, its original meaning, and how the word and its meaning were altered across languages and time. And that time one is a real big one, because those definitions were, some of them are nowhere near what the original is. For example, awesome. The Bible says our God is an awesome God, and that word usually brings excitement and joy to people, but it actually means invoking fear and terror. The word Lord originally and literally means loaf, like a loaf of bread. The word queen means whore. So etymology is important. Lady is actually a woman who needs, is a woman who needs bread. K-N-E-A-D, who needs, like kneading dough, who needs the dough for the baking of the bread. That's a lady. It's a woman of low status or servant. Etymology is a very important subject of study. It will make you a true philosopher, a true scholar, and a master of this life. It will reveal things to you. This letter to from George Washington to Muhammed Ibn Abdullah, the Sultan of Morocco, from December 1st, 1789, is another treaty with the United States and Morocco and/or wars. In this series, there's more to come. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more like it, subscribe to my channel. Let me get a like down here so YouTube will know what's going on. And hit that notification bell also. And leave a comment too. Alright?
Life completely fucked. New York Stock Exchange, instantly your numbers drop. Souls that remain, depression is great. They go berserk, expecting it to stay the same, knowing that it'll never work.